Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is Saturday, and as promised, we are using the brand new Speed Duel ban list, and we're going to be updating our last deck first, since technically I didn't know the ban list was new and active at the time that the video went and uploaded. So, still using Welcome to the Jungle for clear reasons. This skill is great for the Amazonas. After damage calculation, if you took any battle damage, from battle involving an opponent's monster and your attack position Amazonas monster, then that the opponent's monster will lose attack and defense equal to the attack of the Amazonas monster battled till the end of the turn. So again, it's a matter of downgrading the opponent's monster through surviving combat and being able to topple much larger cards, which is, again, pretty easy to do. This deck did get heavily hit with the new restrictions, and we're going to start with our tier 3 limit maxed out. We went full all in on the Amazonas Princess. Again, this is one of the most important cards for this deck, so again, it's a big starter. The name becomes Queen while field and grave. When is normal or special summon, you can add one Amazonas spell trap from the deck to the hand. Use this effect only once per turn, and when this card declares an attack, send another card from the hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon one Amazonas monster from the deck of defense with a different name. Again, this is super good. This is going to help us tech into our call. This is going to help us tech into our onslaught, which, again, I'll hit the tier 1 and 2s as far as the updated list went. We are going to be able to develop into Queen immediately. Throwing Queen face up a defense means our Amazonas can no longer be destroyed by battle, which means Welcome to the Jungle is going to be resolving more often. And don't forget about the tech of the discard, because we're going to utilize that as well. Moving into the next card, we are going into 2 Queens. This just ensures the Queen should always be in the deck. And again, cannot be destroyed by battle, whatever. Awesome. The next card, we doubled up from last time, because again, we were running like Rhoda, 3 calls. It was very search heavy. So we had to expand our monsters from, like, I think it was 8 to 10. So we just doubled up on Sage, because again, she's good. 1,400 points. Means we won't be taking a lot of damage when we're doing the points deductions with Welcome to the Jungle. Once she's immortal due to the Queen's effect, we are also going to resolve her effect a lot. At the end of the damage step, if she attacks and is still on the field, we get to target one spell trap the opponent controls and destroy it. So this is going to be very opportune as far as getting her effect, lowering other cards, or just outright winning, and doing it in style. We've also decided to double up on the Swordswoman. Again, she's not on the limits. She's nowhere near the limits. Should she have been? Potentially. Very good card. The opponent takes any battle damage that you would have taken from battles involving this card. So it's a good, like, little redirector. And then again, in combination with the Queen, since there are times where we are going to kick off things like Waking the Dragon, this immediately mains in a play against one of the things that can hurt us by just letting us slap the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and the opponent takes the 3,000 damage for us. And again, this is Speed Duel. We only start with 4K. So again, just really good card. And then we're still using the single pet tiger. It's just an awesome card. You can only control one of them at a time. Gains 400 per Amazonas that you have on your side of the field. So again, this gains max 12 for the format and gets up to 23. The opponent's monsters cannot attack Amazonas cards except this one. So again, this means that they're going to take a little more damage, or they're not going to do as much damage to us while they're trying to snipe off cards like our Princess. So again, good monster lineup. Not the worst thing in the world. Going to spells, we're immediately taking our tier 2 hit with our Amazonas Call. We're going to play both copies that were available to us. The way this works, quick play speed. Take one Amazonas card from your deck with a different name. Cannot grab an Amazonas Call with it. And either add that card to your hand or send it to the graveyard. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one Amazonas that you control. This turn, that card may attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack. And again, so like that second effect is good, especially if we're behind. We've got a swordswoman. We can do a lot of damage to our opponent if they built up a big board. We could go for like a board wipe on the back row with a sage, or queen. Again, just kind of a bigger card, can just go ahead and take care of business. So tons of options here. Because we are using our tier 3s in the main, you're going to notice we don't have room for Cosmic Cyclone today. So because of that, I'm going to go with an older pairing that still sort of checks out. We are going to be using one copy of Galaxy Cyclone, and we're going to pair it off with a Night Beam today. So these two spells have not touched the tier limits yet. Galaxy Cyclone, good. Target a set spell trap on the field, destroy it, and then during the main phase, except the turn this is sent to the graveyard. You can choose to banish this. Target one face-up spell trap on the field, destroy it. We get rid of field spells, continuous traps with that. Still a great card. I'm glad to see that we can put it into rotation and not feel guilty about it. And if we discard it as part of, which was it? Was it the call? No, it was the princess. Her effect will have us discarding a card to hit the field. We can discard the Galaxy Cyclone, knowing that we have other outs for spell traps in the form of Night Beam and Double Sage. And then we can set up the Galaxy Cyclone secondary effect, and we can do that real early. And I think you guys know Night Beam enough. I don't have to waste your time there. Moving forward, upwards and onwards, we can't use the Book of Moon because, again, we used our tier 3 limits. So we are going to use Sol and Luna this time. And the reason we're going to use Sol and Luna is because no matter what you're going to do, you're going to want to target the card that isn't Queen. So, target a monster you control, one that the opponent controls. Apply the following effect on each monster depending on its current battle position. Since they're going to be face-up cards, we're going to change them both to face-down defense. However, we could change a face-down defense to a face-up defense. We'd only activate one copy of Sol and Luna in a turn, and the method, again, is going to be to either have an Amazoness Tiger to redirect the attacks over to that, hopefully not lose enough points when you put one of your cards face down, because you will take a points deduction. But the goal should be that you have Queen, they're indestructible, so just in case they go ahead to attack the one that's now face down, it will flip face up during the damage calculation. Since it is now a face up Amazoness, the Queen will protect it. So it is a good way to get around this. If you don't want to play Sol and Luna, don't play it. There's other tech cards you could do in here. One of the things that they just neglected to touch was Quaking Mirror Force for some reason. So you do with that information what you must. Moving into the traps, I'm going to play something a little weird. I'm going to hit a copy of the Amazoness Archers. And again, this is so old in Speed Duel that it doesn't say Speed Duel here. I just love this. You got to do that, show the watermark down here. This was part of the original starter deck lineup, and I've been called out for using these before. Not this copy exactly, but using cards that were done up that early in the game. It doesn't say Speed Duel. I'm using proxies. I'm using fakes. I'm not. It's just an old card. I'm sorry. With the way this works, though, when an opponent's monster declares an attack while you control an Amazoness face up, change all monsters your opponent currently controls to face-up attack position. Flip effects are not activated. All monsters lose 500, and they must attack this turn if able. I want to break this card down for you, okay? This one is a tough one to understand at a glance. So what's going to happen, and the reason we only use one, is because it is dependent on the opponent declaring the attack. This is not just an activate it whenever. The second thing is, we shut off flip effects. So anybody who was going to try to set Penguin Soldier and then press with their other monster and try to press for some advantage and poke and try to disrupt your board, number one, Penguin Soldier is going to go face up. That's totally been negated. So unless they're running their own Sols and Lunas, which they should be, that's not going to work so well. And then additionally, I need you to understand the 500 loss is not till the end of the turn. Okay? That is a permanent 500 point loss. So if they do have a monster that can still win, against one of your cards, even though they're trapped in having to attack this turn, that monster will survive. It will remain minus 500. Okay. This is actually a great trap card. Really lets your Amazons handle their business. Okay. Next up, obvious, we've got the Onslaught. Just went to tier 1 because it's great. Once per turn during battle, you can special summon one Amazoness from the hand. If you do, it gains 500 until the end of the turn, even if this leaves the field. If your Amazoness monster battle an opponent's monster while this card is already face up in your spell traps, you can banish that opponent's monster that was battled. So again, even though the Sage survived the battle because Queen was standing there, because it was Sage, we're going to go ahead and banish the monster as well as bopping a card in the back row. If this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target an Amazoness in the graveyard and special summon it. It is the second coming of one of these girls back to the battlefield to go ahead and deal up the damage. Let's take a look at Call again real quick. During the main phase, so they made sure that you could not bring out a card with the Onslaught during the battle phase, giving it the extra 500, and then also attack everything. So it was good, Konami. You did well. Last card, Quaking Mirror Force. If you guys disagree with this one, you could, because again, this one deals with the opponent's monster declaring an attack. Just get another Archers. Keep it on point. And again, the searchability of everything in this deck is crazy because not only can the calls grab any of the Amazons in the front row, can grab either of these two trap cards, and the Princess will grab either the calls or the trap card depending on where you are in the board state. So real quick, guys, that is the main deck. Photos, pause, notes, whatever you got to do. I'll be right back with the side and extra momentarily. All right, now I did change the side just a little bit because I think I had enemy controllers or something sitting in here. So we went for another card that's going to operate very similar. We're going to be using 2 copies of the Shrink spell card. Now, the reason I say this is going to work similar is the spell speed. We're still on spell speed 2 with his quick play action. And for the most part, this is going to be all that the Amazoness cards will need. This will take a monster and take half of its original attack value away. So again, a lot of monsters, they don't look as big once we've hit the Shrinks. And then again, because it's quick play speed, one of my favorite things to tack out is going to be copies of Sol and Luna. Going into games 2 and 3, when I've decided I need to be a little more aggressive. Other cards that are going to work really well, the double Lost Wind is still very valid. There wasn't a whole lot that hit for special summoning. There wasn't a whole lot that like limited things with extra decks. Like I think the Fossil Warriors were the first, last, and only extra deck that maybe got touched. Lost Wind is great for another reason though. The Princess throws something out of your hand. We all know Lost Wind can reset itself from the discard pile if the opponent special summons from the extra deck, which is, again, not exceptionally hard anymore in speed duels. So, Lost Wind, super tech, awesome stuff. You already know the last 2 cards in here are going to be my Waking the Dragon because I leave the space for them all at all times. And that just allows you to play the all-stars of the extra deck. And again, they give you enough room to play the game, to do the rest of the stuff. If we're going to talk about why we countered Waking the Dragon in the main deck, I want you to think about each one of these effects. Okay. You get the Amazoness Swordswoman. It doesn't matter that any of these are bigger. The opponent's taking the damage for us. Sol and Luna is going to go ahead and put the king face down, so any zones that were collapsed are no longer. Plus, again, the battle damage every time we run into that thing while it's in defense mode. The swordswoman is giving our opponent that damage. And if it happens to be a restrict in quick play speeds, we can, so during the battle phase, when we've already tripped something because of Sage, we can still go ahead and put this bug face down and squish it. He can only stop the attacks while he's face up. Once he's been attacked while face down, there's no timing for his effect at spell speed 1 to get in there and stop the attack before it fully lands. So that's just how that's going to work. And again, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're not really worried about the Arcana Knight. You're not really worried about the Destiny End Dragoon. And then the best part is games 2 and 3, you're like, okay, cool, you're playing the Waking. I can put in my Lost Wind. And as soon as you drop a Blue Eyes Ultimate and you go to run my pocket, it's like, oh, you're going to attack for 4,500. Okay, well, what's half of that? Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get whatever it is, like 2250. And then I'm going to play the Queen real quick, and we're going to smack it. Okay, we're going to be able to really go after it. Because we're going to have other cards in our deck to get to those levels and win. So we're going to have those options. We're going to have Shrink as an option, which does the same thing. Lost Wind's permanent. Do note, though, real quick, last thing I'm going to say, that they both operate on changing the original attack value. So you cannot Lost Wind and Shrink. So just FYI for you. But that's okay. That's why we got the Archers. That's why we got all those other things. Is what it is. I want to thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully this is good enough that you guys waited since Monday for this deck list. And we're going to continue. We're going to go back through. Got another notebook page. And I'm going to start listing out all the decks that we've done. And from this point, tell me which ones you want to see next. I'm going to do a little bit of work today. Get another deck up for tomorrow. And see what we can't do for throughout the week. I know that there's a new booster pack that's, I think it was the Duelist Advance. I'm going to try to get some product. I'm not sure that I'm going to get any this weekend. It might be early to late next week, or I'm not 100% sure. I think it's this weekend. The set's going to sneak peek, so we'll see what happens, okay? For now, I want you guys to be good to yourselves, be good to others. Like, comment, sub if we've earned it. Don't if we haven't. Go out, enjoy the beginning of your weekend, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Later.